Everyone, and welcome back to Top 2 Tiers review of the Rewrite Anime Booster. There's been a big hiatus for reasons that we're not actually obligated to tell you about, work and stuff.
In reality,
Anyway,
we're all lazy shitheads.
We hate card games.
I was at the Pokemon Internationals, but the rest of you, yeah, that's fine, whatever. So, oh god, I need to start not using Firefox. Anyway, this first card is it Master of the Barrier Kotori? I don't actually know what her name is.
Yes, that's what I see here.
Okay, sure. So Master of the Barrier Kotori. I still don't have my translation. This is by memory. So it's a 3 9K. It's blue. That's actually pretty important. It has -1 level if you have 2 or 3 climaxes in your waiting room. So it's an advanced summon when you refresh, which is it has current play heal, which is also cool. Not as good as a cantrip, but in this case, I think it might be. Yeah, no, I think I might prefer a cantrip. The third ability, well, third and fourth abilities are a bit more complex. So the first one is when you play the climax, Master of the Barrier or whatever.
Barrier in the
Barrier
forest.
in the forest.
Sure, that thing. To the climax zone, you may choose a blue character in your waiting room and put it under this as a marker. You do nothing else. Of course, the marker has a purpose. At the start of your opponent's, what is it? Start of your
Attack phase.
Attack phase.
Attack phase, sure. You may put a marker from under this into the waiting room. If you do, this card gains 2k power, and the ability the character opts this gains -2 soul for the turn.
I mean, it seems pretty good if you can really play like multiples.
You'd think that, but
What's the
card-
climax?
this card-
Is the climax a book or a pants?
Pants.
That's better.
Yeah, this card is good at face value. It's a heal. It can blank your opponent's attack phase sometimes, but honestly speaking, it's not nearly as good as some people think.
I mean,
It's
it's
definitely not as good as the Japanese thing.
This
They think
hipster.
it's a 2/4. Oh, well, look, I like this character. I like this. I have 2 of this card's SP.
You're just being a
Oh my
hipster,
God.
man.
Dude, you were all over this shit like a month ago.
I know.
yeah.
I know. But, see, I've played the deck more since, and it turns out that even my opinion can be swayed.
No, you're not allowed to change your opinion. That's wrong. That's
Oh.
not how the internet works.
Damn. Well, I guess
Savagery.
this is 10
Got
out
him.
of 10 good plus meta dank meme rating.
God,
Chiwa
fucking
Saito was a
waifu
god.
fag, dude.
Okay symbol.
Okay,
Uh,
hand.
Yeah.
this card just seems fine. I mean, really play
Okay, so
healer
let,
is
let me
nice.
let me walk through why this card is less good than it seems to be. So yeah, it's a good card. The first turn you play like 2 and slam a pants, that turn cycle is going to be amazing. You probably killed 2 things. You now have 2 things with markers, and when your opponent attacks, they literally need to have advanced summon plus climax to do any damage to you at all, and even threaten you at all. Because you're going to be in 11k without any supports, without any counters, and you're going to be just like -2 soul. That's really strong. We know that from Zwei form, and I think that's actually all that's actually been good
Wow.
with -2 soul.
I mean,
uh,
there used to be people who played it in Kantai.
Augurize.
I mean, sure, that was before that was when Kantai was kept alive by the Legion of Boat Fags rather than actual reasons to play Kantai. This card is a strong card, but after that turn cycle that I just talked about, you're going to be left with 2 soul beaters and an empty field. And if you want to keep on looping this climax, you're going to have to, looping -2 soul,
Swinging for
you're
4.
going to have to slam climax and start swinging for 4. Well, maybe like 4 and 3 or whatever.
I mean, that still
and-
seems fine.
It's not a good damage number, just trust me.
Well, I mean, 3
If you
is
play against
more
any
ideal.
deck which tries to compress. If you play against ReZero, if you play against Guardian, you play against Monogatari, if that's still around.
Ooh.
I get
That's
that.
me. I'm that guy.
Yeah, you're that guy now. If you play against even Railgun amasses a crap ton of stock these days. Any of these decks, 4s and 3 are like 4 is a really mediocre damage number. Like, half the time, you're probably just not going to do any damage.
More than half, but yeah.
And your opponent is going to, even with the -2 soul, all they have to do is get some triggers, or they have to just play 2 soul beaters and attack you, and they'll be doing damage back. And ironically, this means that half the time, more than half the time, you're actually nullifying your own attacks against an empty board and a compressed deck.
But
Which is
what if-
obviously... Sorry?
But what if they side because they don't think they'll trigger Kappa?
Well, that's what we call an objective misplay.
Kappa.
Good for them. Anyway, this card is very strong. The Japanese put it in everything, like literally everything. That's why it's still like 2,480 for whatever reason. It's a really good card, but if your opponent compresses and has a decent compression game, this card is a lot less good than it seems. Like, a lot less good. Now, it goes into a lot of decks, which is why I still think it's a great card. Like, it goes into her own deck. It goes into the Kotori Kagori Kotaro deck. And honestly, I don't want to put it anywhere else. The Japanese players all put it into a Guardian Shell. I think that's bad because there's no way to search for it unless you're also splashing the Chihaya Brainstorm, in which case you're probably not playing the Lucia Amagi, in which case you're not getting your guaranteed advantage at all, and a lot of games you'll just have nothing. The problem with this card in the Kotaro Kagari Kotori deck is that a lot of the time, you're just not going to have the stock to also compress and get the -2 soul. Like, this is just playing out the deck with the Bond engine, with all that. And that can often be a problem, because even if you get -2 soul, eventually these things are going to die. Like, they're not invincible. And eventually your opponent's going to have damage to deal to you. And that is problematic. I mean, all in all, it's a pushed card. It's very strong, it has support, it's a heal, it's an advanced summon, and it has a really powerful climax combo. And I am going to give it the good rating. But it is worse than a lot of people think it is. This is a good meta card in my eyes.
I agree with that.
I'm less impressed. I'm just giving it playable plus.
It's literally the only early play.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, who needs early plays when you have 2 on Lucias, right?
Apparently, I don't know. I was just like messing around with a calculator while I was doing it. Yeah, it's about 40% to hit, assuming they have 4 climaxes in a 20-card deck, which is like not a good deck.
4 climaxes in a 20-card deck is horrible.
It's not good.
Yeah, and you're still going to not deal damage with Kotori.
50%, over 60% of the time. Like, jeez, like let's say there's like 6.
All right.
20% chance to get damage to stick. Oh no, that's not good.
Nice.
This card is, for me, this card has either done like everything or it's done absolutely nothing. It's a good card. That's how I like to play my card games. No sense
This
of
is like-
security.
The upgraded version of Tutu
This,
Hanakawa,
this
right?
is why you play Belcher.
Technically, nah.
Anyways,
This card. Now this is a good card. This is
Is it?
I mean,
Shizu?
do you like it? I think it's ridiculous.
I just
So
don't
it's-
like the blatant Apple product placement.
Hey man, it's an important plot device.
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
iPod.
I use a Zune, man. Like, I'm not a part of your corporate image of what a fucking millennial looks like, dude.
I'm
Guess we're all
calling
Turns
your
to
bluff.
Mr. Tonight.
You do not use a Zune. You do
I-
not work with
I
Zune.
use a Zune actually.
No, who the fuck uses a Zune? Oh my god,
You want
Tom.
me to? Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh
You
my
memory
god,
chiseler.
that
You
made
memory
my brain
chiseler.
explode.
I am going to show you my Zune after
Do it.
we're
Do it. No,
done.
you're doing it right now. Show me right now.
What?
So it's a 3/2 blue heal. You're probably familiar with them because we just talked about one. But this one has a really, really dumb secondary effect that makes this one of the best finishers in the game, period. So when the battle opponent of this is reversed, you may pay 3 and ditch a card from hand. If you do, deal 2 damage to your opponent, and then look at the top card of your deck and put it either on top or bottom.
It's like really great. Like
Yeah.
how solid is the back row pump power wise on opponent's turn?
I mean, back row pump isn't really the relevant part. The relevant part is how you can do it on your opponent's
Well, I
turn.
mean that's why the back row pump is relevant.
You play the 1K level X in the same deck.
Sure. Yeah.
Remember
Then
the
you're also
3-2
good. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you'll be fucking massive.
He'll be like 13 plus K with counters.
And you have
This is
gloves.
before gloves, man.
Yep.
So yeah, this thing is ridiculously big on defense. Like, it's at the point where you can actually kill a Reinhardt on offense if you go full retard, and that's kind of ridiculous.
Always go for retard.
Yeah. So, yeah. This card seems like it has a really high cost, and honestly it does, but the deck that you run it in is the same deck that amasses 15 to 20 stock without too much issue.
Wow.
So if you ever get Sorry?
He's admiring the Zune.
Oh, he's...
Oh wait,
Nice.
are you sharing it? Oh my god, I'm so rude. I didn't even get to see it. I said wow because I was gonna make a joke about how like I've never seen this card in Monogatari. But if we're still on the Zune, that's way more important.
I refuse to believe either of you have a Zune, or a functioning Zune.
Ooh.
Anyway,
Yeah.
this card is super strong. It is the sort of card that every deck wants. Even though it doesn't give itself any native power, that's fine. We have other ways to do that. And keep in mind that this is not only a finisher, it's also like a defensive scribe. When your opponent runs into this, if they ever do, and they're gonna want to, otherwise they're never gonna do damage to you, and you pay the cost, not only can you kill them on their turn, which is the ultimate defensive ability, you know, if you render them unable to attack win, obviously. You also get to check the top card of your deck and put it on the bottom if it's not a climax, and that's really strong.
See,
I
this
mean-
wasn't a blue card until we got to the scry part.
Yeah, that's like super awkward, honestly.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. You can use it on your turn with the Amagi, which taps to give 1k, and the obvious Lucia 3000 powers assist. And that will make it a respectable 14k. That lets you scry for your next trigger after you reverse something. Yeah, your opponent can sack counter this, but that's totally fine. You don't pay until you actually reverse. So if you do that, then this is still sitting here. Your opponent still has to attack into it, and you're still threatening game. Like, this card is recently a certain Penguin called this one of his top 5 finishes of all time. He put it at number 5. I'm inclined to put it higher, to be quite honest.
What did he put as number 1?
Probably Marika.
If it's not,
Yeah, I think he put Marika, then he put the Gochiusa one or something. I don't remember exactly. He put Sinon in there because he was high, and that's just wrong.
he is.
Yeah, like he put Sinon in there and he didn't put Kaleidoscope because, you know, weed. It does weird things to people.
You should know.
But this card thing. Oh, well, I've seen it.
That sounded like an
accusation.
Correct implication. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's
I
actually.
know what you
It's a
meant.
different kind of. You should know.
You guys all live in a state where weed is legal.
To be fair, I
live
should
in
know.
the bountiful wilds of Canada, where that is not the case.
Yeah, but you're getting that mad doctor money. So you're the guy that writing on pieces of paper like, yeah, man, here's your prescription for stress while flying on an airplane.
Yep.
Anyway,
Good.
I actually think this is good plus. This card is insane. It's the reason why you can Guardian close out a game really hard.
Mm-mm.
I don't know about meta though.
I don't know, like when I bought my rewrite anime cards and I just built the triple K deck, it was basically down to which level 3 I wanted to play more. I ended up settling on the Katori, but I think I made a mistake and I should have built Guardian to play this card because this card's really nuts.
It's also got a Zune in the picture.
Is that what we're calling it now?
I mean, like, I have a confession to make. I use an iPod.
Damn.
It's fraud.
Filthy scum.
You're not.
Yeah,
oh
but
my
like
God.
I still use inline skates to get everywhere around town, so it's fine.
Okay, sure.
You don't use Heelys, man.
Dang.
No, because
Hmm.
that's fucking stupid.
What the
No,
fuck?
I use soaps. Who remembers soaps?
Nope.
Right, I don't know what you guys are giving it, but that's what we're giving it. We're moving on. Next card, Shizu, Rendezvous with Allies.
Trash.
This is a 0015. It's got come and play mill 2. If you mill a climax, give a character 1/5. Man, how far we've come. And when this is placed from hand stage, you may pay 1, ditch a card. If you do, search your deck for a Lucio or Shizuru and add it to hand.
It's a drop searcher for Guardian, right?
Yeah, this is
Has no
surprisingly-
specific toolboxing otherwise, apart
Yeah.
from like Ricky.
It's really weird that this is just actually a really, really good card in the Guardian deck, since its only way of getting cards is a Magi, and that's only tapping the top 4. Like, that's... Like, there's a reason, what's it called? Even Watcher, that's a good card.
Mind sensor.
Mind Sensor?
That one, yeah, that thing.
Well,
There's
Mind
a reason
Sensor,
that
Mind
card-
Sensor is a good card when only like 50% of your deck is a hit at most, anyways.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
see,
But in like
this
Weiss,
card
you're looking
makes-
at close to like 80% at all times.
I mean,
even
sure.
mind sensor
let's get
sucks
into
in Weiss because Akatsuki is good in Weiss.
Yeah. But even Mind Sensor makes you shuffle
Moving
them
on.
back in.
I'm
cards
making
is
a
not
very
actually that hand fit.
I'm making a very transparent joke.
This card's really good because it's selective tutoring.
Playable. Playable plus maybe, but it's like it's a drop searcher.
It is playable plus. It's better than most drop searches in context, but in a vacuum, it's obviously just a drop searcher. The first ability is like whatever. You mill 2 cards. That's completely random. Doesn't mean a thing. I recommend
Triple
playing
meta
this.
minus.
Sure. Falling Meteorite, Kagari. It's a 0015. When you place this from hand to stage, choose... I'm just going to call it Special K from now on. Choose one of your Special K characters, and that character gains 1/5 for the turn. That's fine.
What kind of special are we talking?
Okay, so
Like,
this girl is autistic. Kotori is probably also autistic. And Kotaro has... Well, he's an anime protagonist, so I'll let you decide what that means.
So like
Statistic.
special.
Yeah, Special K. So that's the first ability. The second ability is when this comes to play, you may mill 2 cards. Well, you have to mill 2 cards, rather. If at least 1 Amnesia Kagari is put into the waiting room with this way, it's a 1/0 yellow. We'll get to that eventually. You may sack this card.
Eventually.
If you do, choose an Amnesia Kagari in your waiting room and put it in the slot this was in. So the wording of this ability is important because in my deck I have 1 normal and 1 signed version of the Amnesia Kagari, and I was able to choose the signed version instead of the normal one I milled.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was a very, very unlikely occurrence, but it happened.
I mean,
Anyway.
it just seems like if you can do it, what a fun value play, I guess.
I mean, you can chuck this down turn 1. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Eh.
If you do manage to mill the Kagari, you can advance summon it, and for the record, that card... Well, it's true, that card is a 4/5, which is likely bigger than anything at level 0, which means you just built your own runner. Congratulations.
Dude, have you ever played against Kisniver?
This card seems niche.
Oh, why would you put it in the center against Kisniver?
I don't know.
I mean, this is like
Like,
this is
what
like
if
the same
they
thing.
just
What-
play
what-
that many Shiori and
Why would you
Doskas?
put that in the center against like Index or Gigant Shooter? We went there. I
also
gotta
like
start
to
it
point
early.
out- I'd like to point out that you can stack the abilities in a way so you mill first. Both abilities are primed. You mill first. You can put the 1/0 onto the field.
And
Then you can
bomb.
stack the 1/5 buff onto it. So Kisniver can go suck it.
I think Index is still bigger.
Index is only 5/5. This becomes a 6K.
If Index has both,
That's what I'm saying. It has both brainstorms in the back row.
and a 3/5 in the center.
Yes,
That's
that's
5/5.
5/5.
Oh, they're only 1,000. Okay, so it has to be Gigant Shooter. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Look, This card is really niche. You'll rarely ever get this ability. I play it because it mills 2 and costs nothing. And the 1/5 buff is occasionally relevant because the card in question, the Kagari, is a on-reverse plussing combo at level 1, which is kind of relevant, I guess. Like, it's not a great combo, but it's a fine one. And as a result, this is a playable card to me. It's nothing more, nothing less.
I don't really know the contents of this deck, but like it seems like it'd be decent in the deck anyways. Like as a 2 of.
Mhm.
Well, it's also a blue card.
Yeah, it's
So-
actually that's actually the point.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of blue in the deck aside from the runner, so it is worthwhile. This next card is the protecting the key or protector of the key. They mistranslated, I think. I don't know.
Protection
whatever.
of key.
Yeah, I don't. It's a 1/0/1/5. It's a back row. It's a support. If you have another Kagari, all your other characters gain character encore.
Woo.
So obviously it's got a special K. 1 cost, discard a power spot from your hand to waiting room. That's a rather interesting card. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay that cost. If you do, choose up to 2 cost 0 or lower characters in waiting room and put them on separate slots on stage.
Honestly, this card seems like very solid for that deck.
I don't play it at all.
I like getting cards back for relatively cheap.
See, the thing is, that deck is
Are there
about
any
a
good 0
thing.
costs to grab?
There are a few, but the thing about that deck is that it abuses a bondable Azza engine, so you don't really care about getting cards back to field. You'd rather just Azza.
Well, that's unfortunate. Then
Yeah, like I do think the power spot engine might actually be the way to go, purely because it is not stock negative. Like being stock positive is really important in the Kotori deck, the special K deck, because it can kind of run low on stock. But as it stands, this card has no place in the special K deck for me. Like the power spot engine runs by itself. It doesn't need this card to do anything. Anyway, I'm giving this card playable, but I think it's better to give it niche. Like, I think you can play this card, I don't think you should.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems fine. I'd probably still give it a playable.
Hmm.
Meh.
Alright.
It
Next
wasn't
card.
very interesting.
Yeah, it is like, it's... You'd think it'd be interesting, but you need to know what Power Spot does before you can call it interesting. And when you do know what that card does, I just don't think this is nearly as good as just playing Power Spot. Class Rep Lucia is a 1/0/3K. If you have another Lucia or Shizuru name, this game's 3K power, so the fakest power requirement in history. And when this attacks, if you have... Oh, is that a Stock Soul or a... That's a... No, that's a Pants, isn't it?
There are
Yeah,
2 pants.
so I think there are, yeah.
Jeez.
If you have the Pants, then this gains 1/5 power and the ability to bottom deck its battle opponents.
Yeah, that's like not very relevant usually.
What a
Fun fact.
powerful climax combo.
Fun fact, there was a card in the original rewrite with this exact same Climax combo.
I've definitely played decks where this bottom deck ability savages me, but
Yeah, but then you're not playing your stock charge combo.
yeah, seems bad. I would not play this.
Yeah, no.
Like ever.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's a
and
really
like,
bad combo. And
it's a bad beater
Yeah.
in a deck that has an Ellie that's like kind of mediocre in the deck anyways.
I don't think you play this.
I don't even play this in Lucia Waifu. Just pointing that out.
Okay, so does that make it straight bad? I think it does. If it's not qualified for the waifu deck.
I would never put this in any deck. I think it's just bad.
Yeah, I don't think this is very good.
Ooh, rares.
He gets
Medication Creation, Shizuru. This is a much better card than the one we just talked about. When this attacks, this gains X power, where X is 500 times the number of your opponent's characters, which means it can go up to 6k for free. And the reason why it's so under spec is because it has, when the battle opponent this is reversed, you may choose another character, rest it, and move it to an empty slot in the back row.
That effect is honestly so sweet.
It's really strong, yeah.
Pretty good.
You normally only see it on level 0s, and those aren't even like vanilla sized.
No,
This
they're
one-
generally like 2K or 2.5 if they have other upside or other downsides.
And this one is not only above spec in the ideal scenario, but also just has that ability. I like this card. I don't know where it goes.
I don't know how you
legit-
fit it into your deck.
I legitimately have no idea where this card goes.
I mean, I guess you could theoretically use it as an alternative level 1 beater in the with the stock charge. But the stock charge is,
See, in that deck, I run exactly
just
4
don't.
level 1s,
You
and
have
it's the
space
full
for
climax
this
combo.
card.
but Guardian. Let me think. You usually have both back row slots filled, no?
Well, you don't need back row for this card to be effective, though.
No, well, you need to not have back row for this card to be
No,
usable.
No. What are you talking about? You just rest the card.
No, and move.
No, you perform as much of the effect as you can.
Dude,
if you
I
can't
fucking
move it to
hate
the
Weiss
back row,
rules.
then you just rest it.
Dude, they just need to like make the wording not suck.
Seems okay.
I mean, it
But
still
yeah,
seems
I mean,
like whatever.
The point of Shizu in that context would be to enable fronts with the stock
I mean, it's
charging
like a
Shizu.
pseudo hand encore kind of thing, which is fine.
Not even hand on.
I mean, it depends on like whether or not
Like a
this
free
trades as
encore.
well. But like, I don't know. I feel like I want to. If I'm gonna be using it to save the stock charge combo, it's likely because I want to try to go off again next turn. Which means like saving one is relevant. So I could see playing like 1 or 2 in Guardians, I guess. If you really want to.
I don't have room. Like,
Oh,
I would not cut anything for this card, unfortunately.
I still think it's playable. Like,
It's neato.
it's very solid in my mind. Like, it is probably my preferred beater of choice at level 1 if I needed
really
a beater.
I do think it's neat, but I wouldn't play this as my beta if I'm playing gloves in the same deck.
What? This card actually plays so well with gloves.
It plays awfully with gloves.
What? If they attack into this first and you gloves and you can go over, you can actually use it like a sack counter
What?
If you have
an empty
back
back row
row.
slot. This
You're
works
not gonna
on
have
both
another
turns.
empty back row slot.
I mean, I'm saying if you have an empty back row slot, you can use gloves like a sack counter.
In Magical Christmas Land, in the land where all you do, what you're doing is making like a Weiss Schwarz riddle.
Making plays. That's what this is about, dude. It's about being a playmaker.
I don't think you understand the gravity of the play that could happen
I don't
when
think you
everything
understand.
goes right.
You don't understand the meaning of the word gravity if you're going to speak that sentence in earnest.
There is nothing earnest about that statement.
Gravity is. It's
Is
okay.
is a force that causes things to fall.
Yeah, it's the Isaac Newton shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had to take a physics class. No, but like seriously though, like I think it's still fine. Like it actually does play decently with gloves if you have an empty back row slot. You get to
If you want to make the playsiest of plays, go right ahead, my
Like-
lad.
It's my 7-5 and come up short though, because this is 3-5 on defense.
Like you know the meme of like the guy. It'll have like statements and then like a silhouette of a human and with all these like blue lights coming from the head.
yeah.
It's like a dude reaching enlightenment. Like I'm feeling like that right now, hearing about this combo you're trying to sell.
I don't know, man.
Now that's good deck building.
It is
And
just
that-
good deck building.
That's just good deck building.
This is why my tag is P Solid right now.
Niche.
You can give it niche. I'm still gonna give it playable.
Triple meta minus.
I don't think that's an option. Niche or playable or good. If you...
Dank meme.
There you go.
Cause I'm in it for the for the will play, which I don't think is good, but it's like really dank.
These are the things I think of. They're
Well,
awful.
The extent to which you two are willing to fall for value is almost impressive.
Have you
Have you seen me play
ever
Magic?
cast Gifts Ungiven?
Moving on. Next
I'll
card.
take that as a no.
Barrier Preparation Kotori. It's a 2/1 500 power card, dies to Kaiki. It's a
Automatically bad. No.
Woo!
so it's a level assist, so it gives 500 times the level of everything in front. At the start of your climax phase, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 0 or lower character, you may put it under this as a marker. Otherwise, put it back where it was. At the start of your climax phase, so you can do both these in the same turn, choose one of your Master of the Barrier Kotori, and you may put a marker from under this, under that as a marker.
Nice.
So this is another way to loop the 3/2 Kotori and its neg 2 soul ability. It's ironic that this might actually be just a worse back row for it than Lucia, because Lucia makes Kotori enormous. But at the same time, this card is good in the Special K deck. It's good in Kotori Waifu, I guess. Like, it's really frustrating that this exists, because...
Well, you
means I don't
see,
get to play-
the best reason to play this card is to just keep markering all your zeros and pretend you're playing Phantom.
You know that you don't get to control what's on top of your deck, right?
You know I'm just, like, saying YOLO, right?
You know, like you're just.
What's
gonna
neat
hit
is
all
that
your
you can
zeros
put a
naturally.
marker underneath Kotori the same
Yeah.
turn you
Yeah.
get a marker, so it's like pretty neat.
Alright, so
Neato.
we need to clarify some Weiss rules. Do you have to announce the order you're resolving these abilities? I feel like you should.
You don't
No,
have to announce the order, you have to announce the abilities one by one. All the abilities prime at the same time. You announce which ones you choose to resolve.
I hate everything.
I mean, like, welcome to the game.
I know.
Yeah, so this is
I mean,
actually just it's a niche card, unfortunately.
I feel like
You know,
you
the fact
still
that
should
this
play
card-
one.
doesn't have a soul trigger has thrown me off so much.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's very silly.
Wait,
Like I
why?
flip it for a trigger, and I'm like, for 2. Oh wait, no, it's for 1.
Are you
what?
telling me you
Awkward.
don't look at the triggers of your cards when you
don't.
trigger them?
I do, but
Oh,
like
It doesn't
instinctively.
sound like you do.
Oh sure, I mean instinctively, I like when I trigger, I usually just like look at the level or something. If it's a character, I'm like,
So
oh,
then
it's
you
level
don't
2.
look at the trigger.
Oh, I mean, like it's not. Like...
It's that you literally said I look at the trigger, but when I flip cards, I look at the level.
Like, why wouldn't you look at the trigger? I mean, the
Haven't
reason
you
it
play-
doesn't
don't
have a
you play
trigger.
Idolmaster? Don't you
It's
play
not like-
Idolmaster, dude? There's a 2/1 mommy without a soul trigger. You should know these things. It's a
So-
double R.
Sorry, I'm
The
just used
reason
to
why
playing
this
like
card
KOF
is
where my 1/1s have soul triggers.
Well,
Lose that 1,000
Your
power.
ones are 6k, and Soul Trigger takes away 1k from it.
That's so
The
bad.
reason-
Oh man, if this had a soul trigger, it would be negative 500 power and die on entry. It doesn't even
And
die to
that's why
Kaiki. It dies
does
on its
not have a
own.
Soul Trigger. That is what does not have a Soul Trigger. You are correct.
It's its own Kaiki.
It's its own Kaiki.
Yeah. Honestly, this card is good in the Kotori Waifu deck, but it's not good elsewhere. I'm putting it as a niche card.
Niche is fine.
So it's not even good in Special K.
No, it is not.
Oh.
It's fine in Special K. I don't go to pains to get it onto the field, though.
But like
Because-
you play it, right?
You can play it, but a lot of the time it doesn't do
No,
anything. It's
I
a
don't
level-
care if you can play it. Like it's in your list. That's all I'm asking.
I think I might have taken it. I had 2 at one point. Now I might actually have 0.
mm,
Okay.
I might have taken something out for like for a second counter of some sort.
well, I'm a good player, and I got markers. It was cool.
Yeah. Same.
Okay, let's move on. Druid, Kotori, it's a 001k, and it is a global 500 on your opponent's turn. Okay, so this is like a character engine. You can discard a character card from your hand to waiting room and rest this. If you do, choose a. Alright, so this is another army. This is a Kotori-san's Monsters army. You can choose a made by Kotori-san monster in your waiting room, whose level is equal to or lower than your level, and put it on any slot on stage. So this it starts becoming stock positive because there's I don't remember the level. No, does it? Does the level 2 monster have that name? I don't think it does. Anyway, if it doesn't, or if that card even exists. Oh no, it doesn't. It's a few cards down. It doesn't have that exact name, so never mind. all you can get is level 1s and level 0s with this, but it does ensure you a steady stream of quote-unquote attackers if you're willing to discard cards you can't otherwise play at that point in time. Otherwise, it's not really that good. Like, what can I say?
It's cool.
It gets around counter spells.
Doesn't die to Kaiki.
I feel like
of
beating counterspell is more
applications.
relevant.
If you have this and the 2/1 on field, then the 2/1 no longer dies to Kaiki.
There you go.
So you're telling me you need to figure out a way to get Kaiki into play from your hand on your opponent's turn.
Yes.
That sounds
no
like a
such
plan.
Way no such way exists in Weiss at the current time.
That combo dies to 2 Kaikis, so you know.
Yeah. 3 Kaikis gets all of them.
But what if you tri-fielded
It's a
the global in the
bloodbath.
front?
Then
Checkmate.
you only need 1 Kaiki.
You win the game. You just win the game. You should try it at your next locals and tell them that once you've assembled that combo, you win the game.
This seems
That's like
super.
Exodia.
I actually want to call this niche. I feel like it's probably not worth it.
It is niche.
I mean, it's niche because it's for the army deck, right?
Yeah.
Basically, the army deck has a bunch of 7/5 level 3s in the front row, and that's just how it goes. That's just it. That's it.
Sure.
We're done. Alright, the next card. Where is it? Blades Drawn Shizuru. So this is the benchmark for every card of this archetype. When this is placed from hand to stage, check up to 2 cards from the top of your deck and put them back on top in any order. When it attacks, if you have 1 or few other characters, you may mill the top card of your deck. If it's a level 0 or lower character, put it into a back row slot. So yeah, you get to check the top 2 cards of your deck, put whatever level 0 you want to summon on top, and then know what your next trigger is. That's is really strong as both a turn 0 play and as a turn whatever play to start your combo. Like when you use this card, you get to put a card that will activate Lucia. Like you can put a character back. Lucia's top check will activate. Everything gets neg 4k, and hell, this might even kill something at that point. This is a very good card, but it doesn't get any better than very good. I still think it's only a playable plus card. I wouldn't cut this lower than 2, and I'd really try to run 3, but it's difficult. I am a fan of this card, though.
I mean,
I
being
think
able
it's
to
so
like
important for
actually
the
control your
level 3 Lucia rather.
being able to control the top of your deck and still have the value card makes it like one of the best, level 1 plays or turn 1 plays to do.
I mean, you've got a
Well, a runner is probably better, but this is still pretty good. I think it's one of the better forms of this mill top card plus archetype.
I think it's straight up the best. What even competes with it? I don't think anything competes with it.
Okay, sure.
Checkmate.
Atheist.
Yeah, so this card is... I don't know if it's better than a runner. Like, I think the hierarchy goes playing this, milling an Amagi, Lucia.
No, you played this and mill the runner. Did it?
That's not as good as milling the Amagi, Lucia.
And then you dab.
Yes.
You dab aggressively.
No. Allowed. The next person to try and dab gets kicked.
How would you know?
Look, I'm just going to assume that Terry is dabbing right now and kick him.
Well, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Were you actually dabbing?
His hesitation is all we needed to know.
I mean, like, not currently, right?
Playable plus
Yeah.
could actually go up, but it is really good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's good.
Alright, next card. Kagari, Poltergeist. 0025. If you have 2 or fewer cards in stock, this gains 1 level and 1k power.
I like.
This is a...
Yeah, I tend to like not value these kind of cards anymore. So.
I mean, your opponent probably can't kill it. Like, it's very hard for him to kill it. So it's kind of like a runner, but it's not as good as a real runner because, like, on the off chance your opponent can kill it, the runner is obviously better. Uh, the runner is also just a Kagari, so there's not really a reason to play this unless you're specifically making Kagari waifu, because that deck has a very, very sad looking level 0.
I mean, you
Anyway.
have a runner.
This is, it's a niche card. You've got a runner. There's no real need to run this.
Dude, wait, how sad can Kaguri's level 0 be?
It's got it's got 2 oversizes, really bad encore support, a really bad support filter, the mill 2, you've got the bond to a non-Kaguri card that you can't play, and you've got a runner.
Wait, what about
Oh,
the
you
Takatsubo?
also got the Takatsubo, I guess,
Yeah,
but
no bully.
it's still pretty bad. Wow, I'm saying a level 0 with a repeatable Ricky and a runner is bad. And,
I don't think it's that bad.
like, you're missing a lot.
I've played worse waifu deck lineups.
That's a fair point.
You can play
Okay.
16 vanillas in Hanayo waifu.
I'm sorry for your loss. Alright, the next card, ignoring him in his Hanayo waifu deck, made by Kotori-san,
Wow.
giant monster, so this can't be summoned by that Kotori.
No.
It has giant in the name. So what this is a 2/1/4/5. Every marker under this gains 2k, and when this is placed from hand to stage, you may put 3 of the aforementioned made by Kotori-san's monster under from your waiting room under this as a marker. So it becomes a 2/10k.
Woo!
That's
Sweet.
kind of big.
2/1/10/5, right?
Yes, 2/10/5. Kind of big.
And
Kinda
it's
big.
a net compression positive.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah, so this is actually a pretty solid card for that specific deck. Yeah, what can I say? It's a reward for playing a otherwise kind of whatever level 1, level 0 game. For the record, the level 1 and level 0 share a name. I think you might have guessed that. And they get stronger with more copies of each other on the field.
Could you repeat that name for the class, please?
Made by Kotori-san Monster.
I didn't hear that. Could you
One more time.
say it again?
The Aotina Onslaught.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, and you said you wanted to kick me.
Look, this card is a niche,
I'm
maybe
in
even
Zoom,
niche
so,
plus.
you know.
Like, I think this might even be niche plus. It's just a really, really fat monster thing.
It's a giant monster.
Yes, that is
A
exactly
kaiju.
If you would.
a
Like,
titan.
kaijus are OP, right? You know, like
Right.
They're an answer.
yeah, you could say that. They're splashable in any deck.
Yeah,
No.
but
People just run fucking kaijus and everything, because you know.
yeah, but I don't think it's a thing of like the kaijus are weird.
They're weird in a way that works. 'Cause, like,
Well, no. The weird is like, I don't think I don't want to call them broken. They're just like
no, it's just like a different.
they're just like necessary.
It's like fucking like removal creep, basically. This game that Konami plays.
Yeah, rip Metal Gear.
Let's move on. See you tomorrow, Shizuru. It's a 2/6k. Assist to level 3 or higher. They gain 2k power in front. And up to once a turn when you play an event, choose a character, it gets 1k for the turn.
I mean,
This is really cute art.
you can make
This
something
character-
really big when you play gloves.
Is it as
character
cute
has-
as it is?
Just
Yeah.
has no role in anything aside from being cute.
Shizuru waifu.
No, because the advanced summon in Shizuru Waifu comes in and gets 4K for 2 turns, so this isn't even needed.
Yeah, but this lets your level 3 kill stuff. The
Yeah.
good level 3.
Yeah, no, I'll let that pass. That seems like a reasonable thing. That seems reasonable.
Niche.
Yeah, okay. Gets niche and Shizuru waifu, I guess.
Hey.
Could you count gloves as an accessory character for the Shizuru waifu deck?
Is she wearing
No.
gloves?
No.
Then no.
You could say she is.
Anyone who knows anything about rewrite would smack you.
I don't know anything about rewrite, so
Exactly.
You're forgiven, but
Yeah, but you don't know whose hand it is in Money Counter, dude. Like,
isn't that fucking the?
Dude, every character in Little Busters has money, okay?
that's.
I disagree. I doubt Masato owns any Yukichus.
My point was gonna be more like everyone in Little Busters has hands.
As you say. Next card. Hyper Vibration Lucia. It's a 2/1/6/5. This is an anti-change bottom deck bomb.
I mean,
You
seems
know,
fine. I'll play it.
For the card
In
name,
the
she
deck.
sure isn't doing any vibrating in this screenshot.
Well, because not everyone can be Tool of Rue.
Because
How do I speak in Unicode?
Don't even, man.
If I could speak in Unicode, I would say Adhesion Panic right now.
So this card doesn't actually get played because the Shizuru Lucia deck has 2/1 ginormous Lucias that can't be counted anyway, which are just better than anti-change bombs against most things. And everything that you can't kill with the 2/1s will die after you use the Lucia Climax combo and hit them with 2/1s. So yeah, not actually as good as it looks. It is.
You're out to Blue Titans.
Yeah. What is it?
You can't kill. I don't think you can kill the Blue Titan dude, even with the Lucha combo. It's like 17k or something.
17k minus 4k.
Well, they have
And-
backups. Oh no, they can't do backups.
No, they can't
But they have
back
an
up.
event
What?
thing. You use
Does that
Titan's
event-
power.
Wait.
Man.
Does that give power?
Yeah, Titan's power gives power.
Yeah, it gives
I
a
don't know.
ton of power. Holy shit.
I
Wait,
haven't
what?
played this
What
garbage
event are you talking about?
I'm talking
No,
about
just
the
the
yellow
fucking-
one, obviously.
Oh, the 4K? The Rip Thumb?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, anyway, this card does not have a purpose. Like, it's not worth a deck slot in Guardian. It might be worth a deck slot in something else, I don't know. But, yeah, I'm not playing it. It's a niche card, in my opinion. I used to call these cards good meta. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, things have changed. It's fine.
Alright. Interest in the right hand, Kagari. Is this the one where she's biting his hand?
No.
Oh, she's about to. 2/1/7/5. If you have the level 3 Kotori in your clock, this gets -1 level in hand. When the battle opponent of this is reversed, if you have, oh yes, it is when she's about to bite his hand, Nom in the climax zone,
Well, I guess
Draw
the
a
biting
card.
is
Well,
on the...
how convenient.
draw up to 1 card and stock up to 1 card from your top deck. This card is whatever. Like, I don't want to clock my 3/2 Kotoris at level 1, not really. And it makes you run a climax combo that isn't the 1/0 Kagari one, which I can understand, but I also don't support. Like, I think the Kagari combo, despite being kind of vanilla and kind of whatever, is still a costless bossing combo, and I think you should be running that instead.
Sure.
Yep.
Being costed doesn't help the situation much either.
I mean, it is stock neutral the turn you play it. If you have... Or, like, stock regular if you have the climax combo at level 1.
So,
But it's blind.
But, yeah, drawing from the top of your deck is, like, feels bad, man.
it's like it's niche.
Blind.
Climax is also really cute, so I kind of like it.
Copyright waifu.
Alright. Shizuru, just the two of them on the way home.
Mm.
00500, dies to Kaki.
That's how you go to
Assist
jail.
500. What's the card look like?
No, I just
Yeah.
mean like in general.
Yeah.
Going home.
Oh.
Well, just the two of you, right?
What's suspicious about going home, dude?
Well, there's only two of you. That's
Dude,
where the suspicion
just-
arises.
Am I going to go to jail because? Wait.
You're taking a little girl home with you? Maybe.
Hell,
No,
man.
no, that's not what I was going for.
There's not even any hand holding going on in this art. It's not lewd enough.
Well, I mean, it's
Go to
because
jail
they
for it.
you can't see their hands, dude. They censored it.
Innocent until proven guilty.
There are Codewalker cards that are screen caps from H scenes.
Thank you for that entirely unnecessary knowledge.
I'm just saying, like
I
Bushiroad
like how you're
is a
acting
bit
as if you
creative.
didn't do that before.
Also,
As if
DeCapo.
you weren't
Also
a
DeCapo.
Walker fan.
I mean, the capo is more obvious, but the capo also has characters that aren't good, so I'll allow it. So back to this Shizuru, it's a 00500 assist. When you have the blue stock soul in the climax zone, you may put the top card of your deck in the waiting room. If it's level 0 or lower character, put the top card of your opponent's stock in the waiting room, choose a card in their waiting room and put it in stock, and your opponent shuffles that stock.
What the hell?
You basically fling a climax into their stock. I
just don't understand why this is a climax call.
I think this card
It's on a 0.
All the other
What?
zeros. in the
Wait,
description.
there are zeros that do this effect on play.
No, but they don't shuffle.
Yeah, they don't shuffle.
Oh,
the
that's
stock.
right. Well, oh, that's right.
That's actually like
Well, that's
not
cool.
worth being on a climax combo still.
Okay, so some people might value this effect like really highly. It's the same deal as putting your opponent's climaxes to memory. Like they value effects like that really highly. They aren't actually that good. In this case, you do exactly nothing except mill a card most of the time. Like, yeah, you fling a card from your opponent's waiting room into stock. Yeah, you get rid of one of their climaxes, but you don't actually do anything to them. Like, you're not winning the board. You're not doing anything particularly impactful. I think that people will look at this card and think that it's really sweet because you're getting rid of a climax and that's really powerful, and you can combo it with the blue event from Harvest Fiesta and it'll look like you made the plays. But all in all, you're not doing anything. Like, you played a climax from hand. That climax is a stock soul, and you played a stock soul, and you get the benefits of a stock soul. And then you mill a card, and like, no matter what you hit, even if you hit a level 0, you're not really doing anything of merit. I think this card is actually bad, and I'd rather play the stock soul by itself than play this, or I'd play this purely for the assist effect and not care about the stock soul effect.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't think I want to play a vanilla Assist 500.
That
just doesn't
flavor
really-
text,
At
though.
least not one that dies to Kaiki.
Yeah. I'm going to say bad. I don't think you want to
This
play
was
this card.
not translated very well.
Don't think too much
Kotaro,
about it.
it's fine to be into
Oh,
it.
you have to do it in the voice.
Kotaro, it's fine to be into it, but you'll be disturbing the moral if you focus too much on the breast.
So yes, this is going exactly to jail. You're going directly to jail. You do not pass go. You do not collect $200.
I think I just realized that I think that voice is supposed to be like Kuwabara from the Yu Yu Hakusho dub.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I fucking love Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm gonna be real.
Yu Yu Hakusho's great.
Dude, I'd buy that. Dude,
There's-
Spirit
Oh,
Spirit
Yu
Gun
Yu
could be a
Hakusho,
climax.
right? Oh man.
That's dank.
Alright. Next set. Kotori encountering the mistletoe, 001k. When this is placed from hand to stage, look at the top card of your deck and put it either on top or bottom.
I don't think
One
mistletoe
cost.
glows like that.
It's magic mistletoe, just roll with it. One cost. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay that one. If you do, choose a power spot, which is a 1/0 event we'll talk about later, in your waiting room, and return it to hand. So power spot is actually an ability which will charge stock for you if the top card of your deck is level 1 or higher. So both of these abilities are relevant, and this is effectively a 0 cost plus if you manage to get a level 1 or higher card on top of your deck.
Nice.
Yeah, like it's pretty solid. I think that it's worth thinking about as a engine, but obviously you'll have those times where you just have 2 level 0s on top and do nothing. Even then, I think it's an interesting engine because you've only gone down one stock overall. The worst case scenario, you still get a card back. Wait, is that right? Yeah, no, never mind. You get the stock back, but you won't get the card back if you fail.
Yes.
Which is fine. Like, you tried, and you might get a random 0 cost plus, and that's sweet.
Did I did not.
I think it's actually niche plus. I think it's it can be the foundation of its own deck, and I actually have this deck built, and it looks sweet.
I'm leaving it just niche. Meh.
Sure. Made by Kotori-san, Monster. This is the first army card. You may have as many cards with this card's name in your deck. For each of your other same name card in the front row, this gains 2k. So if you have 3 of them, you have 3 5ks. Which is really scary on turn 1, but like whatever, right?
3 5/5s. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like spoiled by roaches when it comes to these kind of army deck shenanigans. Something about having 2/2 clock kickers that I can tutor from my deck that are like 14k power.
Terraformers.
You know I have to do
Gigon Shooter.
it. No, that one already hit. I already hit that quota.
Comparing a card to Yami from Tulafru.
We haven't done that yet. We're still missing the comparing a card to something in KOF.
No, well, you already got your KOF shout out with like
Soul
my
triggers,
one
soul
ones
triggers,
have
soul
soul
triggers.
triggers.
Yep. All right, well memed. Gotta print out an official bingo card the next time we do this.
Right, so
Niche.
the next card is... Yeah, you can just put a little bingo card in the bottom left of the screen and cross one off every time you do it.
This is a vanilla.
Alright, so the next card is a vanilla. It's bad, unfortunately. There are like a billion Lucha oversizes you can play in the Lucha waifu deck.
Vanilla counter.
She's smiling though.
Yeah, it's a vanilla count. Yeah, Lucha is smiling. Vanilla counter. This one's like whatever.
Playable minus.
Yeah, I guess. I don't think I'd play this in the Special K deck though. Now we come to the second made by Kotori-san monster. It's a 3/5/1/0. Same deal. You may have as many cards with this in la-di-da-di-da. For each of your other copy of this card in the front row, this gains 1 level and 1 5. So this counts to level 0 as well. So this card will just basically always be a 7/5 level 3, which makes it vulnerable to be anti-changed, but is that really a big deal? I don't think it is.
Makes you vulnerable to cost bombs, like from
So
fucking.
when I say I meant 6/5, not 7/5.
Uh,
It's 7/5 good like global
There are
supports.
3 sets with cost zero bombs, right?
There's 2 with unconditional ones, and I think 2 with.
Which are the
Climax.
2 with unconditional ones? There's 2 with climax that I know off the top of my head, and 1 with that's unconditional.
Zero Knot, Skymer, and Clamid.
Oh, I didn't know Zero no Sakama had one. Okay.
It has a
Yeah,
2 or less.
2 or less stock.
Rather than the 4 or more.
Yeah, the other ones are climax tied.
Right. This card is again niche. I don't think it's that much better than the level 0, but it has shift. I forgot to mention. It has shift level 1, which is neat, I suppose.
You can't shift unless you're level 1, unfortunately. Because
Yes.
that's what shift means.
Well, you are correct. That is what shift level 1 means. It's
I'm
fine.
so amused by the fact that they never bothered to print a different symbol for shifts.
Niche. Alright, next card. It's a 1/0 Lucia. If you have 5 or more cards in hand, this gains 2/5 and character encore.
Woo.
Mm,
It's fine, I guess.
I'm not playing it.
Yeah, neither am I. Lucia waifu is green at level 1, unfortunately.
this is nice art though.
I think
It
I
is
would
nice.
still call it bad.
Hey Tom.
What?
Kai posted a Tia if you want to run it.
Alright.
Next card. Encounter in the Forest, Kagari. It's a
I'm gonna
1045.
join it.
What kind of encounter are we talking about?
Probably a lewd one. If
Unfortunate.
there's climax in your opponent's climax zone, this gains 2k.
Unfortunate.
And when your climax card is placed in climax zone, this gains 1/5.
Okay,
Uh,
so it's like 6-5 defense, 6k offense, plus climax. Still seems bad.
Only when a climax is...
Ari, Lude.
Hmm.
I
If
don't know
there's no
about that.
climax involved- If there's no climax involved, this card is just...
Garbage.
It's not a good card. Don't play it. I think this is niche. It might go into the waifu deck. I haven't built the waifu deck. I don't want to build the waifu deck.
I'm gonna just give it a bad.
Yeah, like, if your opponent plays climax, this does get, like, kind of big, and then you can counter and feel kind of good about yourself.
It still feels small.
It's so anemic on offense, and it's not even that big on defense. Alright, last card, Power Spot. We've alluded to this twice, maybe 3 times. If you don't have a Kotori on the field, you can't play this from hand. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 1 or higher, put it in your hand. So that's where the filter comes from. And then you may choose a character in your waiting room with, like, you may choose a familiar trait character or one of the special K names and put it into your stock. So, at the very least, bonding to this card will make you stock even. Playing it outright will give you 1 stock with which you could maybe bond it again. Like, that's me, I suppose. And you do get a potential plus out of it. You just need to flip a level 1 or higher card. So that is a deck building restriction rather than any gameplay one and has to be evaluated as such. I think this card has a lot of potential. I think it's very unassuming, but it's also one of the randomly the strongest cards in the set when it comes to pure value, if you are even remotely lucky. So I'm down for this card. I am happy to give it a playable plus rating.
I think the card is fine. You have about like a slightly greater. No, it's about
Does it
50-50.
go
You have
in
a 50-50
any other-
chance.
I guess you could run this in like.
I would probably. I'm still overall thinking the card is still restrictive in how you have to build the deck, so it's still gonna be a niche plus for me.
Keep in mind the level 0 that bonds to this checks the top card of your deck, so it improves the consistency somewhat.
Somewhat,
I think it's playable.
sure. I'm still giving you a niche. I like the card though. I think the card is fine. I mean,
that
like, it
doesn't-
can also flip itself, and then you get to try again.
Yes, you're correct. That does it for blue. Thank you for listening in. We'll be back with yellow at some point in time.